The night was quiet in a way that made the forest feel wrong. No insects. No wind. No distant animal calls. The human noticed it while walking back from the old mining road, his boots crunching softly over stone and ash. He stopped when the sound reached him, thin, broken, and shaking. It was not loud. It was not strong. It was a cry that had already given up on being heard. He turned toward it anyway. The sound came again. A weak rasp. Pain stretched thin by exhaustion. He pushed through low trees and blackened brush, the ground warm beneath his feet. The air smelled wrong too, burned metal, cracked stone, and something sharp, like lightning trapped in flesh. Then he saw it. The dragonling lay in a shallow crater, no bigger than a large dog. Its scales were dulled and cracked, once bright red now dark with soot and blood. One wing was twisted at an angle wings were not meant to bend. Its chest rose and fell too fast, each breath a fight. Its eyes opened when he stepped closer. They were gold. Wide. Afraid. The dragonling tried to pull back. It failed. Its claws scraped weakly against stone, leaving faint lines that meant nothing. A low hiss escaped its throat, more reflex than threat. The human froze. Everyone knew the stories. Dragons did not forgive. Dragon blood burned. Dragon King came for revenge, not rescue. Touching one, even a dying one, was how people vanished. He should have turned away. Instead, he knelt. Up close, the damage was worse. Scales had been torn away. Deep cracks ran along the small body, glowing faintly with heat that leaked into the night. Whatever had hurt it had not been natural. This was no hunting wound. This was impact. Force. Violence. The dragonling shuddered. Its cry came again, weaker this time. The human swallowed. His hands shook as he removed his jacket and laid it gently over the creature's chest. The heat soaked through the fabric instantly, biting into his skin. He hissed in pain but did not pull back. "It's okay," he said quietly, not knowing why. "I've got you." The dragonling stared at him. Its breathing slowed, just a little. He tested the wing carefully. The dragonling jerked and cried out, a sharp sound that stabbed into his head. He stopped immediately. He did not need to know how bad it was. Bad was enough. There was no nest nearby. No cave. No sign of adults. That was the worst part. Dragons did not leave their young alone. Unless something had gone very wrong. The cold began to creep in as the night deepened. The dragonling's heat was failing. Its body trembled, small claws digging weakly into his sleeve as if it understood something he did not. He made the choice then. Slowly, carefully, he slid his arms beneath the dragonling's body and lifted. The heat was intense. Not just warmth, pressure. Like standing too close to a fire that pushed back. Pain lanced up his arms. His muscles screamed as if warning him to stop. The dragonling stiffened, then sagged against his chest. It clung to him. He staggered under the weight. It was heavier than it looked. Too heavy. Dense with bone and something else, something old. Each step hurt. The night seemed to press closer as he walked. Shadows shifted. The air thickened. With every breath, the heat spread further into his body, crawling under his skin. The dragonling's heartbeat thudded against him, fast, uneven, desperate. He adjusted his grip and kept moving. Behind them, high above the clouds, unseen eyes opened. The night had noticed. And it was watching. The path grew worse as the night deepened. The ground sloped upward, broken by sharp stone and roots that caught at the human's boots. Each step sent pain shooting through his arms and shoulders. The dragonling's heat had not faded. It had grown heavier, deeper, pressing into him like a living weight that did not belong in a human body. His breath fogged in the cold air. The dragonling stirred, a low sound vibrating in its chest. The vibration traveled straight into him. His teeth clenched as something hot and sharp slid along his nerves, like fire searching for a place to rest. "Easy," he whispered, though his voice shook now. "I'm still here." The dragonling's claws tightened. Not in fear. In trust. That realization hurt worse than the burns on his arms. The forest changed as he moved. Trees thinned. The ground turned to old stone, cracked and scorched. Whatever had struck the dragonling had done it here. The air still carried the echo of violence, pressure, heat, and a strange silence that followed destruction. He stumbled once. Pain flared through his knee. He nearly fell. The dragonling let out a sharp cry, sudden and frightened, its body tensing against his chest. Instinct took over. He shifted, braced, and forced himself upright, ignoring the way his muscles screamed. "I won't drop you," he said through clenched teeth. The words felt heavy. Like a promise that could not be taken back. The night answered. Wind rose without warning, cold and cutting. Clouds rolled low, hiding the stars. The forest creaked as if something large moved just out of sight. His instincts screamed that he was not alone anymore. He smelled it then. Predators. Not wolves. Not beasts he knew. These scents were old and sharp, threaded with hunger that did not fear fire. Eyes glimmered in the darkness. They stayed back. Watching. The dragonling felt them too. Its heartbeat spiked. Heat surged from its body, sudden and uncontrolled. The human gasped as the surge burned deeper than before, crawling up his arms and across his chest. Something inside him answered back. He did not know what it was. Only that his fear dimmed instead of growing. His grip steadied. His breathing slowed. The predators hesitated. He kept walking. Hours blurred together. His sense of time broke down, reduced to steps and breath and pain. His arms went numb, then burned, then numb again. Blisters formed beneath his skin. The jacket was long gone, burned through and falling apart. Still, he did not stop. The dragonling's breathing changed. Slower now. Deeper. It pressed its head against his shoulder, heat pulsing in rhythm with his heart. With every pulse, the line between them thinned. Images flickered behind his eyes, stone spires, vast skies, fire pouring from his lungs. He staggered as one vision hit too hard, the memory of falling from great height, of pain tearing through small wings. The dragonling whimpered. He tightened his arms instinctively, grounding both of them. Stay with me, he said hoarsely. The storm finally broke near midnight. Rain hammered down, hissing as it struck the dragonling's scales and steamed away. Water soaked his clothes, chilled his skin, and then vanished against the heat radiating from his chest. Steam rose around him like breath from something massive. Lightning flashed. For a heartbeat, the world froze in white light. Far above, silhouettes moved against the clouds, vast wings cutting through the storm. The human did not see them. He only felt the night grow heavier, thicker, as if the sky itself leaned closer. And still, he walked. By midnight, the pain stopped being sharp. That frightened him more than the pain ever had. His arms no longer shook. His steps no longer wavered. The weight of the dragonling should have crushed him by now, yet his body moved with a steady rhythm, as if it had accepted something new. The rain eased, but the air stayed heavy. Each breath tasted like ash and iron. The forest had given up pretending it was safe. Trees stood farther apart, bark split by old heat scars. The ground glowed faintly in cracks beneath his feet, pulsing in time with the dragonling's heart. That was when he noticed the blood. Not the dragonling's. His. Dark lines crept along his forearms where the dragonling's heat pressed longest. The skin there had hardened, faintly textured, catching the light in a way skin should not. When he flexed his fingers, they responded too quickly. Too cleanly. He stopped walking. The night did not. The silence deepened, thick and listening. His pulse slowed, not from calm, but from focus. He could feel the dragonling more clearly now, not just weight and heat, but presence. Fear curled in its chest. Pain flared and faded. Beneath it all, a stubborn spark refused to go out. Something answered that spark inside him. A low pressure built behind his ribs. Warm. Controlled. Waiting. He inhaled slowly. The air rushed into his lungs hotter than it should have been. It did not burn. It belonged. The dragonling shifted, sensing the change. Its claws loosened slightly. Its breathing evened out, no longer ragged. The bond between them tightened, invisible but undeniable. A sound rolled through the dark. Deep. Resonant. Not a roar, yet. Shapes moved at the edge of the clearing. The predators returned, bolder now, drawn by blood and weakness that should have been easy to claim. Their eyes reflected the faint glow beneath the ground. Teeth glimmered. The human turned to face them. He did not raise a weapon. He did not shout. He simply stood still. Heat gathered in his chest, pressing upward, instinct rising without permission. His jaw clenched as the pressure begged for release. He did not understand how he knew what to do. He only knew he could. The predators froze. A warning rolled out from him, low and wordless, vibrating through the air like distant thunder. The ground answered. Cracks brightened. The forest leaned away. The creatures backed off. One step. Then another. They did not flee in panic. They withdrew in respect. The human exhaled slowly, forcing the pressure down before it could escape his mouth as something irreversible. His knees nearly buckled. Sweat poured down his back, steam rising as it touched the dragonling's heat. He lowered himself carefully onto a stone outcrop and sat, still holding the dragonling close. His hands trembled now, delayed fear catching up. "What's happening to me?" he whispered. The dragonling lifted its head. Its golden eyes met his, clearer than before. No fear remained there. Only recognition. It pressed its forehead gently against his collarbone. The contact burned. Not with pain. With acceptance. Far above the clouds, massive forms shifted. Old minds turned their attention fully to the clearing below. This was no longer observation. This was concern. The night had taken something from the human. And given something back. Something that could not be undone. Night did not hide them anymore. He felt the eyes long before he saw their shapes. The air thickened, heavy with age and power. Each breath pressed against his chest like a warning. The dragonling stiffened in his arms, not in fear, but in awareness. They were here. Clouds shifted above the tree line. Massive shadows passed over the moon, slow and deliberate. Wings beat once, twice, not to threaten, but to arrive. The ground trembled softly as something vast settled beyond the clearing. He did not run. His body understood before his mind did. Running was not an option now. He stood again, legs steady despite exhaustion that should have broken him hours ago. The dragonling lifted its head, eyes bright, a faint rumble vibrating in its chest. Not pain. Not fear. A call. The first dragon stepped into view. It was enormous. Scales like dark metal caught the moonlight, each one marked by old scars and deeper strength. Its eyes burned amber, sharp and ancient, locking onto the human with unsettling focus. Then another appeared. And another. They formed a half circle around the clearing, keeping distance, watching in silence. No roars. No flames. Only judgment. The human swallowed. He adjusted his grip on the dragonling, turning slightly so his body shielded the small, broken form without thinking. The movement was instinctive. The dragons noticed. A low sound rolled through the air, not anger, not approval. Consideration. The largest dragon lowered its head until one massive eye filled his vision. Heat washed over him, powerful enough to melt stone, yet it stopped inches from his skin. It studied him. Not as prey. Not as an enemy. As something unexpected. The pressure in his chest stirred again, answering the dragon's presence. He forced himself to breathe evenly, to stay grounded. His hands burned where they touched the dragonling, the changes in his skin spreading slowly, deliberately. "You're hurt," he said quietly, looking at the great dragon. "I couldn't leave it." The words felt small. The meaning did not. The dragonling shifted and let out a soft sound, lifting its head higher despite the pain. Its wings twitched uselessly, but its eyes shone with fierce attachment. It pressed closer to the human's chest, heat flaring protectively. The dragons reacted instantly. Several heads snapped forward. Wings flexed. The ground cracked under sudden weight. Then, stillness. The large dragon raised one claw, halting the others. Its gaze flicked to the dragonling, then back to the human. Something ancient passed between them, unseen but heavy. Understanding. The dragon leaned closer, nostrils flaring as it breathed in the human scent. Dragon blood. Human sweat. Bonded heat. The truth was written all over him now. "This should have killed you," the dragon rumbled, its voice not heard with ears but felt in bone and marrow. The human did not deny it. "I know." Silence followed. The night seemed to hold its breath. The dragonling shifted again, tired now but calm, its heartbeat steady against the human's chest. The great dragon's gaze softened, just a fraction. "That you endured," the voice continued, "was not accident." The human felt it then. The weight of the night. The choice that had been made without words. Something old had watched him suffer and decided he was worthy of survival. Not unchanged. Chosen. The dragon stepped back, clearing a path toward the rising horizon where the sky had begun to pale. "Dawn comes," the great dragon said. "And with it, truth." The human looked east, where faint light crept into the sky. His reflection shimmered in a shard of wet stone, eyes sharper, posture different, something unfamiliar looking back at him. He tightened his hold on the dragonling. Whatever dawn revealed, there was no going back now. The night had already decided what he was becoming. The first light of dawn crept over the horizon in thin, pale lines. It touched the treetops first, then the broken stone beneath his feet. The night loosened its grip slowly, unwilling to let go of what it had claimed. The human stood in the clearing, the dragonling still cradled against his chest. He felt different now, not stronger in the way of muscle or size, but heavier, like the world recognized him and adjusted its weight. The dragons moved as the light grew. They stepped fully into view, their massive forms no longer hidden by shadow or cloud. Scales shimmered with deep colors, iron black, ember red, ash gold, each one marked by age and survival. They did not surround him this time. They bowed their heads. The gesture was small. It was everything. The great dragon approached once more, slower now, no threat in its movement. Its eyes reflected the sunrise as it studied the human in full light. The changes were undeniable. His skin along the arms and neck bore faint scale-like patterns, subtle but real. His posture was straight, balanced, as if gravity itself treated him differently. When he breathed, the air warmed slightly, fog curling from his lips. "You carried what was not yours to carry," the dragon said, its voice steady. "You endured what humans are not meant to endure." The human looked down at the dragonling. The small creature opened its eyes fully now, bright and alive. Pain still lingered in its body, but the fear was gone. It shifted and pressed its forehead gently against the human's chest, letting out a soft, content sound. Alive. Relief hit him so hard his knees almost gave out. The great dragon extended one massive claw, careful, precise. Heat washed over them, not burning, but mending. The dragonling's broken wing glowed faintly as bone realigned, scales knitting slowly back into place. The human felt it too. The heat passed through him, settling deeper, sealing what the night had started rather than erasing it. "You are marked," the dragon said. "Not as servant. Not as prey. But as one who endured the bond and did not break." The words settled into him, permanent. The dragonling was gently taken from his arms, lifted with care by another dragon and placed upon warm stone. The separation hurt more than he expected, a quiet ache where heat and heartbeat had been. The dragonling reached for him weakly, a small claw brushing his sleeve before it was carried away. The great dragon watched the exchange, then met the human's eyes. "Your path is no longer simple," it said. "You will feel us. And we will feel you." The human nodded once. "I'd do it again," he said softly. The dragon studied him for a long moment. Then it turned its head toward the rising sun. "So would we," it replied. As the dragons lifted into the sky, wings catching the light of a new day, the clearing fell silent again. But it was not the empty silence of before. It was recognition. The human stood alone now, dawn warming his face. The world felt different under his feet, sharper, clearer, heavier with meaning. He had carried a dying dragonling through the night. At dawn, the world carried him differently in return. And nothing would ever see him as just human again.